Antony, so it begins, off we go. So would you just start by giving us the state of play as we enter the election campaign?
Well, the Labor goes into the election with 78 seats, the Coalition 57. There's one or two members left, but 57 is their starting point, and there's 15 on the crossbench. The swings that are needed, the Labor Party, a swing of about 1% would probably deprive it of its majority. A swing of about 3.5% might allow the coalition to end up with more seats than Labor. But the swing for the coalition to reach majority government is beyond 5%. So it's quite a substantial effort for them to get into government. All those numbers, though, rely on the fact there's no change on the crossbench. What happens if Labor picks up some of the Green seats, if the Liberal Party pick up some of the Teal independent seats, or if the independents win more seats than they currently have? They all alter the composition. But the current crossbench is the largest crossbench we've seen in decades in Australian politics. And the other thing that's significant is that where we've had 4 of the last 5 elections have been very narrow, the last election produced an opposition with about 10 fewer seats than those earlier examples. And that's why the coalition have a big task getting into government, is they have to overcome all the seats they lost to the crossbench last time.
So just explain that phenomenon. What could we see in relation to the crossbench, to all the independents? What is happening as a phenomenon with the independent vote in Australia?
What is happening is we're seeing a decline in the support for the major parties. At the last federal election, the coalition got about 36% of the vote, the Labor Party got around 32%, and everybody else added together came to about 31%. Since 2007, when Kevin Rudd won, the vote for minor parties and others and independents has more than doubled. But the number of seats where an independent or a minor party finishes in a contest against the major party, so it's not a two-party contest, the number of those seats has gone from 3 to 27. And of those 27 seats at the last election, 16 got elected. The major party vote is falling over time, so this concentration on two-party preferred, sure, you can come up with a two-party preferred vote, but it doesn't translate into seats if there's so many votes for others. The preferential voting system, people think, always comes down to Labor versus the coalition. It doesn't. And the last several elections where the number of non-major party contests is growing shows that. Now, perhaps that trend might reverse at this election, but realistically, the vote for the major parties has been going down for many years, and all the opinion polls seem to indicate it hasn't changed much since last time.
Now, there's a lot of analysis around that the path to victory for Peter Dutton has to pass through Victoria, with a great deal of focus on the outer suburban seats. Is that right, that we should be focusing particularly on Victoria, but also outer suburban seats in Sydney to give us the answer to who's going to win?
For the coalition to get close to government, they have to win 10 to 15 seats. That's what they have to do. To do that, you need to get bulk seats, and the bulk seats are all in New South Wales and Victoria. In Victoria, the eastern suburbs seats, where Labor's been doing well in recent years, will probably all go. Seats like McEwen, north of the city, there'll be a few other seats around, maybe some safe Labor seats where there's some unhappiness that not enough has been done in safe Labor seats in recent years. In New South Wales, you have outer suburban seats. You also have a string of seats from Gosford up to Port Stephens, the Central Coast and Hunter Valley, which are traditional Labor seats, but the Labor vote has been dipping for many years now. There's seats like Gilmore on the South Coast. So there's a collection of seats. There's certainly enough seats there to deprive Labor of a majority. There's probably enough seats to get Labor and the coalition roughly equal in terms of number of seats. The question is whether there's enough seats to get the coalition into government. There aren't enough extra seats to win in Queensland. Western Australia doesn't look sort of particularly productive for the coalition. So it's the 2 big states with the most seats.
We're going to be talking to you a lot. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us on this first day.
Thank you.